Have you realised in life that absolutely everything is temporary? Nothing has any permanence about it. You see, everything that we have, we buy, for instance, breaks, needs repairing, we lose, gets damaged. Even friendships, relationships, marriages, they're all temporary. There is nothing permanent in life. I had this vision actually when I was young that the day I get married will be a lifelong commitment. That's it. A life of just total love and commitment. And boy, I was very wrong, because now, 57 years old, I've had 2 marriages, lots of experiences in relationships, and do you know what? There is absolutely nothing perfect in life. Nothing perfect, because the moment it involves something else or someone else, it's beyond your control. Absolutely beyond your control. So whatever you think is permanent is just total illusion. Total illusion. And that's the interesting thing about life, is nothing is sustainable, at least in the material world. And it's harsh, because what happens is people are never satisfied with what they've got. They buy something new, I got bored of it, I need something more, or it gets damaged, it gets ruined, it gets broken, it gets lost. But always looking for more and more and more. And this is the whole thing about living in the material world, having a material consciousness. Material consciousness means I need, I must have, I want, I desire. However, in the spiritual world, it's very different. Because in the spiritual world, we start to realize actually there is this longevity. There's this longevity because everything has a different purpose. You see, in the material world, the Lord just keeps on testing us, giving us more challenges, more lessons. Do you really need this? Do you really need another one of these? Do you? Do you? It's like yesterday, I was speaking to another Prabhu and he pointed out that I had a hole in my sleeve in my top. And I said, yeah, I need to put a patch. He said, don't put a patch on it, just get a new one, get a new one. He says, the ashram give you? I said, yes, they do. But, no, I'm not just going to replace it for the sake of I've got one small hole in the arm. No, I'm going to repair it and give it a second life and a third life and a fourth life. And yes, at a certain moment in time, it will wear out, I'm sure. It's happened before. But meanwhile, I'm going to look after it and care for it, and not think I could just throw another thing away. You see, we throw so many things away in life, whether it's possessions, whether it's people, whether it's family, whether it's marriages, or just straightforward relationships. Everything is disposable, and this is the sad thing about society. But the Lord is trying to explain to us. I'm reading the Srimad Bhagavatam as translated by Srila Prabhupada, first canto, chapter 6, verse 4. And in this verse, Vasudeva is talking about annihilation of everything that is temporary, that's in the material world, that just disappears, goes in our life. But then we have the superconscious, the supermind, where there are certain things that just don't change. Because, I'll give you an example. In life, I thought, like, for instance, when we get married, we're married for life. We have friendships, they have friendships for life. But no, there is nothing permanent about anyone around you. There's no one who's going to stick by you, whatever. At some point they'll say enough is enough, or they'll just disappear or get distracted by something else. And you can't be reliant on anything or anyone anymore. And this is the sad thing about society. It's very different to how it used to be. Everything is now temporary. People haven't got the patience, haven't got the tolerance, haven't got the acceptance. They haven't got the same listening ears. So, things disappear in our lives. But the one thing I've noticed is this. Whatever happens in my Krishna consciousness, whatever is going to be needed or whatever is happening, the Lord is always there. And do you know what? I can do something wrong knowing that the Lord is still there. But I have to learn my lessons. because I can't become reliant and I can't just abuse the situation. But I'm human, and sometimes I'm not as mindful as I can be, and therefore there are lessons to learn. But whatever happens and whatever situation I get myself into, the one thing I know that's always there, and that's the Lord. And that's a very, 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 very unique and beautiful thing, because I don't know of any person or object that's going to be there for the rest of my life. But with the Lord, even if I become fallen, or I am fallen anyway, but whatever I do in my life, whatever sins, mindlessness or unkindness, as long as I've got the right intention to learn, to become a better version of myself, then the Lord will stick by his devotees. And that is just so, so beautiful. I don't know anywhere else you can get that. You can't. There's nowhere else in this universe that you can have that. And it's very reassuring. It's very reassuring, because when you've got some roots and foundations, knowing that the Lord looks after his devotees, the more you gain the truth, the more you gain faith, the more you gain respect, the less worries you have, the less fears. Because I know that I'm not going to abuse my relationship with the Lord. I will serve him and serve him and serve it and serve him to my best way, because I can't not serve him. I'll simply take guidance from my spiritual masters in how I can develop this relationship with the Lord. But this relationship with the Lord is so unique on so many different levels. Number one, he never abandons anyone. And neither does he cause us pain and suffering. A lot of people think, oh, why have I got all this pain and suffering? Why is God making me, or giving me all this pain, all these problems? The Lord doesn't give us problems. The Lord doesn't give us pain. The Lord doesn't give us suffering. It's our own free will that creates us into these situations where we have these problems. And we need to start to waken up to this, and the Lord tries to explain it to us. And it's very, 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 very beautiful. Because when we start to realise, actually, I, with the free will that the Lord has given me, create situations and have mindsets that look at things negatively. But the moment one surrenders to the Lord and accepts He's given us mercy, whatever's happening in life is more merciful than we even deserve sometimes, but he still gives us that mercy. It's very, very, very beautiful, because everything in life should be even much more harsher. Because when it comes to karma, we've not been so good as we think we have been. I've been generally a good person in life. I've always been a caring, loving person, but I know I've caused pain. And whatever has happened in my past life, God knows. Literally, he's the only one who knows. So, this is the question I have for you is, are you feeling secure enough that you can trust someone? Because I can't see how we can do it with anyone else. I've seen people abandon, even blood relatives abandon, because we all get caught up in the world of illusion. But the moment we start to surrender, then you have this opportunity to develop such a relationship with the Lord that I know whatever's meant to happen in your life will happen for the right reason. And the same thing I say to you is this: are you willing to just experiment a little bit and find out if there's something a bit more or a lot more in life than what you have at the moment? Can we break through this, away from this cycle of hardship and what we perceive as pain and suffering? Because the moment we can break free from it, then we start to realise that our consciousness is very, very, very different. Because rather than our consciousness all about being about me, I, it's like people say, oh, I'm trying to go down the pathway of self-realisation. And what does most people think self-realisation It's about me realising life, what I'm meant to do, how I can become so realised that I'm God. No, self-realisation is not that at all. Self-realisation is realising what our true purpose in life and how serving the Lord fulfills everything that we're to do. Because at the end of the day, the Lord has given us so much. Every aspect of what we have, what we've learned, what we've been given, what we possess, where we go, what we do, what we think, it's all by the Lord's arrangement. And it's beautiful. So through Krishna Consciousness, we have a different mindset, a mindset of eternal. And that's very, 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 very beautiful. So you have two choices in life, to have an eternal life or just this material life where everything is just temporary and drifts away. But the more you start getting closer to the Lord, the more you start to serve Him, then by His arrangement, when He feels it's ready, He starts to open up certain things inside us, which gives us more faith, more belief, more trust, more awareness of what is meant to be happening in this moment of time, and not decide for ourselves what we'd like, when we want it, where we want it. Because this is the biggest mistake in life, is us thinking that we're the controller, we're the arranger. No, we're nothing like that at all. We're just a puppet. Just a puppet. But more than just being a puppet, we are about love. And this is a whole mood, the whole aspect of Krishna Consciousness is about love. How can we express our love to the Lord? And with that beautiful expression of love, the Lord just gives and gives and gives and gives and gives. Can you imagine in your life being able just to give and give and give and not want and want and want and me and me and me and I and I and I? It's massive. It's absolutely massive. But I'm beginning to have these realizations that actually, do you know what? I don't need anything for myself anymore. All I need to do is just serve the Lord. And I know that whatever I need to happen in this life, or should happen in this life, is by the Lord's arrangement, not by my arrangement. And the more we surrender and give ourselves to the Lord, then He starts to just take care of absolutely everything. And it's very, very, very beautiful. It doesn't mean it's an easy ride. It's some hard work. But it's fruitful. Because when you start to go through this process of purification, the Lord just starts to cleanse us and cleanse us and cleanse us and detoxify us and purifies us beyond our mental capacity at this moment in time. But that mental capacity is not fixed, it changes and changes. And this is why Krishna Consciousness is so different from personal material consciousness, which is all focused on how I can do this for me. But when it comes to the Lord, the more you give, the more you give, the more He wants to give to you. And that is totally unique. He never asks for anything else. He just wants to give and give and give and give. Hare Krishna.